Hello everybody, it is that time of the month again when we do a new moon reading and healing. So this month we have the Moonchild Tarot, my absolute favourite tarot deck, come out of Canada by Daniellenoel. And this deck has three aspects to it: divine wisdom, which I think of as the crone, the Moonchild, and shadow work. So you can either include these in the deck or pick an aspect out. And I'm feeling Moonchild today, so I'm going to pop this at the top and just start to ground yourself in. Imagine your feet standing on a beautiful large crystal. Here's a wonderful crystal heart. And just bring it down to your feet. And put your feet upon it there, that is green opal. So, grounded. Now as I start to shuffle, just start to protect yourself by imagining a beautiful candle at the middle of your being, right at the center. And grow and glow that flame, pushing it upwards and outwards, pushing it forwards and backwards, pushing it to the top and the bottom of you until it creates a beautiful sphere all around you, keeping you grounded and tight to the goddess, Gaia. So let's split this into three. We'll pick this deck as part of the deck, rather. Let's just wipe you down with this feather, just to relax you. Relax, relax. Now, what do we all need to know? Firstly, that things are going to be okay. They might be a little bit sketchy. We might need to rein in the spending a little bit, but you will have enough as long as you learn to balance all of these balls in the air. Many doorways are either open to you or will become open for you, and once you have consolidated things, just step through them or look through the window to see what comes next. Bit of forward planning would not go amiss here, but there are plenty of stopping points behind each pillar before you make that giant leap. Okay, so watching your finances. You may have to rob Peter to pay Paul. You may have to not buy those beautiful pair of slacks that you were thinking of, but in the long run, stability. I think this is the bent pyramid of Egypt, which is one that they had to change halfway through building, so you may have to change things up. And just pace yourself. Okay, what do we next need to know? You have all of the tools at your disposal. The High Priestess holds the balance between light and dark. She has all of the tools at her disposal. Very water-bound this month. See it all flowing around and the sands that shift. She has the knowledge. She has the protection of the Mother Maiden Crone aspect. I feel that the waning moon at the moment, which is what we are on and about to go into dark moon, is a very positive time for you to shift what you don't need out of your life, or to go inwards. We have irises here going inwards to do some work on the Moonchild. Remember, we picked the Moonchild earlier, the Moonchild who is prone to be impulsive. This time you may need to go in and do some inner child work on yourself. So you would enter the heart center and walk down or up until you meet that inner child. Ravens stand for thought and memory, but they are also teachers. If there are any upsetting memories, I would like you just to not follow them now, but just agree to have this Moonchild symbol work through them. Moonchild. And I'm going to draw that in once more. Moonchild. So, working on your inner child and getting a relationship up with that inner child, okay, with that Moonchild that you are or were, okay. Taking a breath in again. Now, who do we have to come forward? Okay, we have the Justice card. So once she has worked through her issues, justice will prevail. You will be happy with your decisions. You hold the sword of righteousness. And I feel that that is dark moon. That is coming in at full moon. So perhaps this time in 2 weeks when we get to full moon, just review the last couple of weeks and look how far you have come. Hopefully you will have been restrained and paced yourself. You will have recognized the tools in your arsenal. And she looks like tentatively she's sort of walking around that labyrinth, isn't she? You could walk the labyrinth. This is kind of what it is, seeing how far you've come, balancing things out. A river flows through that. Any excess emotions, dump them into the river to take them out to the sea. But I do feel maybe the Sagittarians amongst you may have to work a little bit harder to balance yourself. Not sure why that is coming through. Perhaps you're a little bit more prone to flying off the handle, overreacting a little bit. I hate using that word because it is, you know, has connotations of being a drama queen, but just don't panic. Okay, remember you have those tools in your arsenal, and if you dig deep and have a bit of restraint and do your path working, walking to the middle of that labyrinth as you're thinking about things, walking back out as you're thinking about things as well, casting out the things on the way in and bringing the things into you on the way back out. That's how we work with labyrinths. You will find that the walking the path will not be so difficult and not be so emotive. Using that sword to chop away things that are no longer needed. So we can do that right now. You know, thinking before you start shouting or moaning or whatever it is, that remember you get what you put out. So if you're, oh my God, you know, it's going to come back at you somehow. So using that sort of righteousness to slice away the things that you don't want to recognize and bringing back in the things that you wish to focus on. Okay. Inboxes, outboxes, what is on your desk waiting for attention? Okay, have a look at your pile of papers, that post that comes in. Many of us don't deal with things. We think, oh, I'll wait until the next letter, or, deal with it now. I'm also getting debt. Deal with your debt now. Don't shrink from it, okay? Because it'll only get worse. Okay, I'm going to leave that with you. Let's pull another card now. We have the Empress with, again, the three aspects, mother, maiden, child aspect. We are focusing on the Moonchild today. So I want you to think back. Think back, what is it, or what was it that you really used to enjoy that you haven't had time to do? And when you have thought of that, okay, I like to go hiking. I haven't been hiking for a while. I want you to arrange to do something nice, okay? Do that thing. Go out. We have a bullseye here, and look, around her we seem to have a bullseye as well, don't we? It will bring the magic in for that Moonchild to go and do something again. You might see it in a different light. It might not be as satisfying as it was when you were younger, but you will do that again. You will recognize that Moonchild within you who needs some attention, the younger you, to be nurtured by the older you. There may have been situations in your life that need healing. Do a path working. Have the older you go back and visit the younger you and give some comfort. Another little path working you can do in your mind as well as the labyrinth. You can do all of these as path working, just stepping into the cards. You can do it in this. You can go and sit on the throne in this. You can walk the labyrinth. And you can fire the arrow at the bullseye. Step into your tarot cards. Step into these tarot cards. Work with one or a couple of them over the month. Really get to know them. But I think the main thing is getting to know this Moonchild. Who is she? Who was she? Because she's still in there. What makes her happy? What makes her unhappy? Feeding the youngster in yourself. We are adults now, but we still have the hearts of children within us. And that needs nurturing, escaping for 5 to 10 minutes as you path work, perhaps with one of these cards, an escape from the reality of work, bills, responsibilities. This Empress has a lot of responsibilities. She has to look after the maiden and the crone, even if the crone hasn't arrived yet. It is all still within us. Okay. Let's pull another one out. Okay. And we have the Lovers, choices to make. Lots of choices. Do I have this? Do I do that? I would say trusting your gut rather than your heart or your head. Your heart can be wrong and your head can be wrong, but your gut isn't. You secretly, really, you know what you need to do. Focusing on pyramids to raise that vibration. You can imagine yourself sitting under a pyramid. Imagine it drawing around you. The base. And put yourself in that protection and that amplification, because pyramids amplify energy, yin healing energy. and make that choice. There are always at least 2 paths open to us. You just have to decide which one. And remember, future, it is maneuverable. There are many paths up that mountain to the same light, to the same destination. It just might be that you meander off until you reach it again. No biggie, no biggie. You will have learnt something along the way. Okay, let's pull one last one. So we have pulled 6 along with the Querent card, which is you. Okay. And we have the 7 of Pentacles. So we've had the 6 of Pentacles was the first card, and now we have progressed to the 7 of Pentacles. She looks pretty comfortable there. She looks like she is grateful. She looks like she's praying or contemplating or thinking hard on things. Ancestors or higher selves and guides are in the background. You've reached number 7 now, so you are 3/4 of the way there. Balance again. Kind of looks like a Maltese cross, doesn't it? Maltese cross is a symbol. Oh, I'd have to look it up. It is a symbol that has come through for the Violet Flame initiations that were downloaded to me. But I need to check on the meaning. But you could look that up as well. As it's bringing to mind the Violet Flame, I would say to you now, and there's a lot of violet on this card actually, using and invoking the Violet Flame to cleanse away what you don't need to focus on. Where was it that we had to worry about what to think about first? And decisions. So I would call in Saint Germain and the angels of the Violet Fire and the Violet Flame to surround you all and just to burn through and transmute anything that is distracting you. Maybe it is going to be that you need to shut yourselves away whilst you think about things and not be distracted by lots of other things. It is, and lots of other people. It is summer in the Northern Hemisphere, I know, and we like to get out and about, but making time for yourself to contemplate and to feed that inner child, that Moonchild of you. So I'm just going to move this up to the top so that we can just have a proper look at these cards. Okay. So the Justice, the Empress, the High Priestess, and the Lovers, all of those cards, major arcanas. Slot those in so you can see them. And this is the Querent, so that is you. So a journey through these beautiful cards. Now I don't go as in-depth as some readers do because I am first and foremost a healer. But really, it is what is jumping out at you on these cards. Is there something that your eye keeps being drawn back to? Maybe it is the moons, 1, 2, and 3 moons. Maybe it's the pyramid. Maybe it's the scales. Maybe it is the seedlings and the plants that are growing. Whatever you have sown is growing. Or it could be these Pentacles, juggling finances. But whatever it is, focus upon it. Breathing in and asking your guides, your angels, your ancestors to help you over this next month. As soon as the full moon is over with, as soon as it starts to wax, because it is going to grow from new moon, is a really excellent time to put your plans into process, to start them off. The energy is growing and you are growing with it. All of the water in your cells is getting, the molecules are getting a little bit plumper. And living your life by moon phases, it kind of gives you a pattern throughout the year. In many ways. You have to excuse the garbage truck has just pulled up. So I think, as there's a load of noise outside, let's just finish this off with the koshis. Just going to angle this a little differently. Just let that settle in. Take a breath in. I'm going to draw an abundance symbol into you called Mara. And it looks like a pair of hockey sticks. Let's find it over here. Mara. Not sure if you can see that, so I'll bring it down. Mara. And then a double chakra for power. And we've talked about feeding the inner child within you. There is a love symbol, hearth. And finally, the distance healing symbol. I'm just going to move those around a bit. Feet, heart, and throat. Focusing on those symbols for past life healing, for love, for a power up, and for abundance. Zona. And that is a good symbol to focus on if you are unsure of the direction to take. Hearth. Mara. And the double chakra. One at the front and one at the back of the symbols, just amplifying them. So now we ground again. Just feeling and imagine placing your feet upon the opal. Thank you for watching and see you next time.